that we are approaching the final steps now. This is actually fixing the afterburner lights. As I shown earlier, there's a yellow piece has to go in the middle and the burner light has to go inside. So I haven't glued, I just align it. And also I realize even if I do this, it will not glue attached properly if I keep it like this. So I might have to turn it upside down. So I'm going to do something different. So basically what I'm trying to do is glue all the pieces together. That means this piece has to go here and glue. I'm going to glue with the soft glue that I can remove later. So this piece goes here and glue it, and also glue this one around here and as well as around inside here, and then glue the light to this area, and finally put this cup, glue around it and put. So all have to go together. So first this will go, then next this, and then the ring, then the cover. That is what I'm planning to do. But I'm going to keep this vertically before I do that. So I'm going to try and move this vertically. Let me see whether I can do that. So I'm going to keep it here, and I'm going to put some foam to make it more comfortable. Yes. Okay, now since it is vertical, I should be able to put everything together, all these pieces. So let me do that and show you the final outcome of that. Okay, I glued everything together, all 4 pieces. I had the wires drag to the center of the fuselage earlier, so that part is done, and let it dry for 24 hours, then we are good to go. Place the ESC exactly the way I wanted, and the exact position of what I had in my other jet, so it's good for the CG of this jet. As you can see, I have already attached the ESC, and this part is already done. So I have my control system all connected together. Basically everything between the receiver and gyro all connected within itself, and whatever gyro has to feed to the control system also being done, so it's like self-contained. Now all the other connectors from the lights and the gear and the all the surface controls all have to come directly to the main controller. That is the part left to do. But since I had to attach these 2 pieces together by gluing, and basically this piece goes upside down on top of this, and I have labeled all the cables and bind together so that I can take it inside through one of the holes, as you can see here. Let me show it to you here. So basically it should go in from here, then easy to grab it from the other end to connect it to the control system. Also another thing important, I haven't attached the motor and the ducted system. So there's, as you can see, there's a kind of a tunnel there to leave the cables alone. So it goes like this. fitting exactly there, and this goes upside down here. So this piece kind of join here with screws. So that means even after gluing these two pieces together, you can remove this piece with these two screws here. These two. So it goes here and here as well. So I'm going to leave it alone for the time being. That will be the last thing to do. Now the next step is a bit difficult to video. So I'm going to get this piece on top of this and glue. It's a permanent glue, and then drag the wires through this hole, and then I'll show you the rest of connecting cables and how to identify each cable separately and which port that we should be using, kind of thing. Okay, I got both the pieces glued. Unfortunately, I could not use my water-based glue because I had to put the glue on top piece first and then the bottom piece while it is like this. So one side first, the other side. So I had to use the liquid nail, like the gel based glue. That also strong enough, so it should work. So because it was kind of difficult to put both the pieces together to align it while dragging the cable and position the cables as well, because the cables are not long, because I should not have long cables hanging around. There's no lot of space here, and also they should be short enough to hide underneath and drag to the control surface. That's about 1 inch gap between this and the bottom. So we should not have empty cables. So because of that, I was kind of struggling to get the cables aligned and also gluing together. So if you have seen my previous clips, you remember that drilling a hole in the front to put the pin with a screw from top. So I actually placed that already here to tie both the pieces so that it will have a strong bond. So I put the glue and put the screw, and all is done now. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to do a couple of tests and see whether the bond is strong enough before I do anything else. So I had to leave this for about 24 hours to dry. So then I'm going to work on the next step. So let's see how it goes. I got most of important two pieces glued together, and it has been 24 hours now, still curing. I went and double checked the label of the glue, and it says to fully cure it takes 48 hours, but I can work on it after 24 hours. Actually, this is a good selection of glue because when I read the label again, it says like put the glue onto one side and wait for within 10 minutes glue it together. So you have enough time to put everything together, align it, then going with the other glue that I had, like waterish one, which is very quickly dry out. So I think it was a good selection at the end of the day. So the next step is to put all the other pieces together. That is what I'm intending to do. So as you can see, I have put stuff around here. So we have the main wings and also two elevators and also the cockpit and the rudder and also the nose and also two pieces of vertical stabilizers. First thing I'm going to do though, because if I try to put the wings and the elevator, it's going to be in the way of other technical stuff. So I'm going to go with these two pieces, motor connected to ESC kind of thing. So let's get on with that first. In order to put the motor here, I had to turn this upside down. Since I'm still worried about 100% curing, I had to be careful. So I'm going to turn this upside down and leave it on the tray. Okay, with a little bit of effort I move the jet upside down, and also I had to change the stand because the other one did not fit into the setup here. So let me first unscrew the two screws that goes to the motor. I didn't want to disturb too much onto the two pieces because it's still kind of curing. So first I have to grab the wires. As you can see in the cover, there's a tunnel to lay the cables within that. So once we place the motor into the correct place, which is what I'm going to do now, since the weight is on this, I prefer to move a little bit further up. Okay, so align it, and let's put the screws. That's where it's supposed to be. And then connect the cables. Just wanted to highlight the cable configuration. So the black goes to black, both sides. Red goes with red cable, but as you can see the tip is red, so that goes there. And they have a very strong bond, and the yellow tip goes to the blue wire. Yeah, solid. Don't have to worry about binding with a tape because they connect very well. So basically all should be here. So I prefer to put some sort of a cable wrap around here. Let me find one and then we can do that. So I found a tiny little cable wrap to make sure that it's not getting in the way. Just to keep it together, that's all. And now it's only one screw per side. Normally I see about 3 in other jets, but this one is 1. I think it's good enough. Okay, let's put back the cover. Put it this way first and then like this. Yep, that's how it is. So now there are 2 screws, one is a little bit fatter, so I'm going to go that one here. It seems like bigger than the other. It's anyway, it does not carry a load, just holding the piece together, so you don't have to put pressure on that. Very easy to screw. Okay, now that part is done. Okay, Okay, so it's done. Let's move on to the other piece. Since everything is in the other side, so I'm going to turn this upside down again, and then start working from the top. Okay, I turn it upside down, or it's on wheel, and because back is heavy, this tends to go up, so I had to give some support here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from here, and if I put the wings, so it's going to be kind of in the way. So I'm going to start with the rudder and then go to the nose and go from there. There are 4 screws I have here that goes into these 4 holes. Let me first try and place it correctly. I'm going to connect it here slightly. You have to make it kind of bigger because it's kind of stubborn plastic. So let's connect the rudder servo. I have a bit of lengthy cable, so I have to make sure it's nicely go in and get the light wires. Red goes to red. I don't want to do a mistake there, so it have to be perfect. Yeah. So now these wires has to go. There's a slot that can kind of rest the wires inside without getting caught. Let's align the screw holes and then make it bigger. Okay. Okay. What about the wires? You have to make sure the wires go into the small tunnel there. Don't want them to get caught in the middle. Okay. First we have to go this side in because there's a hole that this has to go into. Right, so it went there. So now if the wires are not in the way, it should go in. Let's see both sides. Yeah. So let's insert some screws to make sure everything is in line. So I'm not going to go and tie it. I'm just going to place them to make sure everything is lined first. Since I have to gain access to the other side of the rudder and they are not aligned right now, so I'm going to turn this other way around. Okay, let's see whether I can realign them. I have to have my glasses on because I can't see anything now. Look at that, too small. Okay, so rudder is good now. Everything straight and solid. Let me see the connection. Yes. Okay. Next one is the front nose. So here's a screw there, and that goes here into this. So they normally ask you to glue, but since it does not carry any weight and it's very light, I'm not going to glue it. So because if in case if I have a rough landing, this is the first one going to hit. This is the one that you're going to replace. So if I glue and try to remove it, and I might damage the front part as well. So even my other jet, because this is very strong bond, this is very strong, and when you put this inside and it goes very tightly, and the screw will do the rest anyway, so it doesn't bend. So that's what I'm going to do next. Let me try to insert this. Here is the screw, goes here, and there's a plastic piece that goes into. So let me try to insert this. It would be tight, which is good. Actually, this is not going in at all. So this part, I might have to sand a little bit because it is not going in at all. It doesn't allow me to, I might damage the foam, try to force it. So I'm going to sand it a little bit and try again. After a few sanding attempts, I had to actually sand the sides and also the edge as I shown earlier, and it went in, and it's already very strong bond. I don't have to put it on the screw, but let me put the screw for the sake of placing it and tighten it. Okay, that is tight enough now. So let me try to put the canopy. So by the way, I got a pilot, and also I inserted from here and put the sticky tape again. So it's a strong bond, so it won't come off. So let me see whether this is going to fit into the canopy straight away, otherwise that's going to be another issue. There's a lock mechanism here. Come effortlessly. Not really. Okay, so there's a little problem with the locking as well. Yeah. So let me look into that as well. What's happening with this is the spring kind of getting stuck. It does not come automatically. See, I have to touch it to come in. So what I have to do is kind of so it doesn't come off, so I have to push it back. Just do this. So yeah, I can deal with that. So sometimes those areas are very sensitive and it does not really behave the way you want. But yeah, that's what it is. Now that this part is done, so I had to manually bring the door closed. It doesn't come automatically via the spring. So let's move on to the next item, which is our elevators. This should not be that complicated. So I have to unscrew these screws. So the screws actually going from underneath. So from here. So let me place this one first. I will push the rod outward first, and then hold it from here to make sure there's no play. Otherwise this will go like this. So we have to fix it like that. So since I have to go underneath, let me do it separately. Now that elevators are done, let's go with the next item, which is the main wing. So I have the rod for the main wing. So it goes from here. Okay, so let's get this one first. So 2 screws will go into this through these holes. So let me try to place it from here. Maybe a bit challenging, but that's right. Okay. Nice. So let me put the screws. This one will do. It's going a bit sideways, but I think it will align automatically. Yeah. So let me put the other one before I tighten. Going a bit sideways. Okay, that is done. Let's push this rod a little bit further and then get the other main wing. There are two buttons here, kind of those things has to go in to lock in. So until that time you can basically put the screws. Okay, let me get the screws, and this one is better actually, really aligned already. Yeah, it's easier than the other one. It's always challenging to align these things because plastics against foam. So let me tighten this one up. Okay, now those two are tight. So that kind of conclude all our accessories, parts for the jet. I have 2 pieces, vertical stabilizers here. Those 2 has to be glued. So I'm not going to do it right now because when I try to move around, these are the first thing to get damaged. And also the tip of the nose. So I'm going to do those things last. So that concludes this video, and next one I'm going to explain how to connect everything to the control system. Control system is already placed inside this. I just put the cover. I haven't put the screws in because I had to get the connectors right and get the remote and the ESC going and see whether the connectors are good. So stay tuned for the next video. That is the 5th one out of all the videos that I have done on this. That will be the last one as well. So stay tuned for that one. So I will explain how to connect all the controls to the control system.